Yeah, welcome to another episode of Parenting 101. I am your host, Dale Ian Pindling. All right, and be sure to check me out at YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, Instagram. All right, I'm posting daily. All right, and give you information on a wide variety, of subjects that can help you out with your kids. All right. So today's show, is really about kindness, because I think a lot of the focus really should be on finances, all right, and what we do with that, how we allocate that, all right, to the benefit of our kids, because the resources are probably the most potent things that we can use, to better the lives of our children, all right? Not in terms of spoiling them or anything like that, but in terms of getting them, what they need in order to progress in life, all right? But today it just goes back, and I want to tell you a little story of how being kind can set you or set your kid, all right, in a situation where your life is much better than it would be if you were not. And it starts off when I was about maybe 14 or 15, and I was going to church with my mother, all right? And there'd be these little discussions that would go on before, like, the preacher would go on and preach. And I remember they had put me in a certain group, and I noticed that there was a lady in there. She's like small and, kind of dark. And, when she would speak, she would be discussing, some things that threw people off. And she also mentioned that she had like a apartment building, and how she had tenants in there, and how they would do all sorts of crazy things to her. And I think they even ended up suing her or something like that, and how they're really giving her a hard time. And most people, in the group, and I think in the church itself, they kind of, shunned this lady. They kind of thought of her strangely, looked at her strangely as well, because, to be honest, she did carry herself in a little weirdish way. How she wouldn't really talk to people much, or if she would talk, she would be totally unfocused and like scattering her eyes all over the place. And also, I remember she would always leave about 5 minutes before everybody else left, before like you were actually begun to usher you out. She would just get up and just leave. I don't know if she was shy or nervous or whatever, but she had, a few strange ways about her, I should say. All right. So, so you fast forward now to, when I was in college. All right. And I remember I used to wake up certain days, maybe like 6 to catch the bus at like 6:30, 6:45 or whatever, really early like that. And I noticed that she was on the bus with me. She got on. I think maybe a stop after me. So after seeing her a few times, something that's told me like, be a nice person. Go talk to her. You always see her by herself. Maybe she's lonely. Who knows? So I made it a pattern, to talk to her every time I saw her on the bus. All right, and I think even the metro as well. Metro is like a subway system that we have here where I live. So I would, she'd just be telling me about her life story and how, she bought her building and all of these things, how like, she had this person living with her and this happened and all that. She opened up to me over time. And then there were a bunch of other, like, at that time I was really doing a lot of, nice things, and there was a lot of like people that I would look at, and just if I saw them and they looked like they were, lonely, if I got that kind of energy that they, needed somebody in their life, to maybe speak to, or, just to bounce a few things off of, I would be there for them. So I remember there was, some other woman as well that I used to talk to. Anyhow, so now you fast forward to after I graduated, and I had always had in my mind, the ambition to buy some real estate, okay, to get some property under my name. This was a goal of mine because, I don't know what put it into me, but this is just something I always wanted to do. So it was a goal when I entered into college that once I graduate, I want a job that will allow me to buy some real estate. Okay, so finish now, and I start stacking up some money. All right, and I have enough money, and then out of nowhere, somebody calls me, and they're like, "Oh, this house for sale. There's a woman there. I don't know if you know her, whatever, but she's tired of taking care of this apartment. The tenants are really giving her a hard time, and she wants to be done with it. All right." So I answer the call. I go check out the place, and lo and behold, it's the same woman. All right. So I'm happy, okay, because I'm thinking like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a walk in the park or whatever. She's gonna remember me and everything. Unfortunately, she does not remember me at all. All right. Instead, it seems as though something had come over her. She had a breakdown or whatever it is, but she had to have one of her family members come from out of town, and they were, in control of everything. All right. So so it ended up where it was almost like I was dealing with a stranger. All right. But the one thing, I did get the property, but the family member had said that she had wanted to sell it over and over, maybe about 7 or 8 times, and it would always come to the point where she would refuse at the last minute. All right, but in this case, she just like went through with it. I don't know if she had, at some point, maybe, at some point in the deal, she realized like, okay, this was the guy that I used to talk to like for 2 or 3 years on the bus every morning. I don't know if that clicked or whatever, or she felt that same energy or something like that. But it was put through, in that case, and I, was able to buy the property from her. Okay, so that's why. So I credit this as karma coming back to me. Not that I knew that she would be wanting to sell this 8 years later or whatever, because I had no clue. Nobody could ever have a clue. All right. But this was just a random act of kindness. All right. That I believe came back to benefit me in this case. And I think if you would begin to teach your kids, to act out of kindness as well, not even knowing what's going to happen, to them in the future, or if they're even going to receive anything in the future. Okay. I think that there will be other benefits, just with the universe and, providence and just karma, God. Okay. These sort of things can also happen to you. All right. Because when you spread good, when your thoughts are good, all right, good things come back into your life. All right. And in this case, it was direct to direct. A lot of times it's not so direct. Okay. But in this case, it's like, there's no reason for me, like a teenager. I could have been trying to pick up girls for myself on the bus. All right. But instead I'm there. I see somebody, always by themselves, people always, making fun of them, or, trying to distance themselves from that person. And I, decided that, no, I'm going to be the person to reach out to this person. And I did. And then, almost 10 years later, boom, I'm blessed with something that they were, struggling with, and wanted to get off of their load, off their burdens. All right. So that's about it. So when you're out there, all right, I want you to teach your kids about money and so on, but you also teach them about, kindness, random acts of kindness, because the two, connect. All right. And without either one of them, there's not much you can really do in life. All right. So until next time.